talk a lot.
I know, that's the point. Balisti Babbles. Balisti Babbles. Oh boy, she babbles. Balisti Babbles. Hey everyone, welcome to the third episode of Balisti Babbles. I am your host, Christi Balisti, and I am here with a very special guest who has been here before, Mr. Matthew Coyle! Yay!
Thank you. It's great to be back.
Is it?
Oh, it's a pleasure.
I'm excited for this one since the last time we did this, if you listen to episode 2, I had picked out a movie, and we had planned on neither one of us seeing it, and you had seen it already.
I had already seen it.
I tell you what, I don't know how the odds were that I picked the one that you had seen.
Exactly.
But it was very funny.
But it happened, yeah, and it was funny.
It was good.
But that's not going to happen this time.
No, it's not, because I'm totally changing the way we're going to do podcasts. I'm still going to have my list of the top 1001 movies you have to see. But we decided that today we wanted to do our top 10. And I think I want to do like top 10 different lists and stuff.
I like that idea.
Yeah, because I just think it's more fun. I mean, I like doing reviews too, but this is just a good change of pace.
Exactly.
Yes. So, what we decided we were going to do today is our top 10 favorite biopics. So, movies about real people. Mm-hmm. And I decided that we could also include television-made movies or miniseries.
Right.
And I say miniseries because that's a foreshadowing of one that I picked.
Ooh, look at you.
I know.
I like it.
Okay, so we're going to start at our 10, which is the lowest on the list, and we're going to work our way up to our number 1.
All right.
And I'm going to say that when I was making my list, I wanted to go for ones that were like, for me, rewatchability. Like, I would want to watch it over and over. I was going to go by like performance of the main person, but I went by just my favorites.
Okay.
So did you kind of do the same?
Mine's a little different.
Okay.
It's kind of a mixture. Because I was a little torn between going by the performance, because obviously some of the performances are just so incredible,
so good
that it makes the movie. It just kind of carries the movie along with it.
Right.
But then some of them are just better, well-rounded films.
Just movies, like the whole movie is just great.
So what I kind of did was, when it goes from like performance to like film, like best all-around film.
I did the same too.
That's my like top 5 are like just like well-rounded, but like my 6 through 10 are more like performance-based.
Okay, yeah, mine are kind of the same.
Really good.
I think we'll have some overlapping ones.
I'm sure we will.
And there's a couple that I thought of like right before like we started this.
Oh, you did?
I mean,
that just
right
like
before.
popped in your mind.
Yeah,
because
there's so many. Like when you just think about like,
oh my goodness, there's
just
so
true
many
stories. Mm-hmm. Oh, and this is just a funny story before we start. So I was at work today, and I was telling someone how we were going to do this podcast, and they were like, "Oh, you should do Titanic."
Oh,
and I'm
gosh.
like, but it's.
That's not a biopic.
Right. It's like Rose and Jack are fictional.
Right. Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, but there were real people on the Titanic, and I'm like, I'm aware of that. But I'm like, sorry, but no.
Not quite.
We'll save that for a different list.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so would you like to start with what your number 10 is?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, what is your number 10?
Okay, my number 10 biopic was My Week with Marilyn.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Yes.
And I almost put it on my list. But
Did you really? Oh, you almost did.
It's great.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I thought Michelle Williams was perfect.
Great. Yeah, like it's not like, I think the best part about the film is her performance.
Right.
So like I said, I'm starting kind of, my top are, so I definitely thought that her performance was the standout of the film.
So good.
But Eddie
Redmayne?
Redmayne
that was the
terrific.
first time I had really seen him in a movie.
As me as well. And you're like, oh, who is this kid?
And now he's like
he's
Academy
a star.
Award winning.
He's won Best Actor, for the Academy Award.
Right.
So, I mean, he's a household name now.
Man, he's so good.
But he was so good in that film. But she was definitely the standout.
Oh my gosh.
I forget who else was in that.
Emma Emma Watson was in it.
Emma Watson was in it. I don't remember that.
She had a small part, like Eddie Redmayne, worked backstage.
Oh,
and
that's
she wanted to kind of like date him, and he's like, "I'm with Marilyn Monroe."
Right. I'm chasing Marilyn.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that.
I feel like there was some other like big actual people, like Laurence Olivier isn't. He's supposed to be in it.
Is he in it?
Kenneth
Branagh's the director.
Yes.
Duh.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't
Sorry.
seen that
yeah,
since
some
it
of
came
these
out.
I need to brush up on a little bit. Sorry. Yeah.
That's such a good one.
I loved it. And I didn't have any expectations, and it really blew me away.
Right.
So those kind of movies just, like stick with you.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's my number 10.
Oh, that's a very good one.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad you like it.
Of course. Okay.
All right.
So my number 10 is Chaplin.
Oh my
With Robert Downey Jr.
I completely forgot about that movie.
And I watched it for the first time like 6 years ago.
Right.
And that was before I was even a fan of Charlie Chaplin. But I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, obviously everyone can recognize Charlie Chaplin. So I was like, yeah, he really can act like him and walk around. And he looks like him with his mustache.
Exactly.
But Robert Downey Jr. is so good in that movie.
Right. He definitely became...
Oh,
Chaplin.
yeah. Oh, my gosh. And I watched it recently because now I'm a huge fan of Chaplin.
Right, yeah.
Because we actually watched
Modern
Times.
And then you watched City Lights.
City Lights, which, those
like to
are
watch
two
that.
so good.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched a Chaplin movie, people, you need to watch
Missing out.
Modern Times or City Lights. And
terrific.
Did we watch it? I think I watched Modern Times on Hulu. They have the whole movie on there.
Oh, do they?
Or no, I watched City Lights on Hulu.
Did you?
I think Modern Times I had to get from the library, but they're both so good.
So good.
And Chaplin is just a really good movie.
So good. What an underrated movie.
Hardly anyone. Well, and I think it came out in like 93 or something.
90s.
So it's an older one.
Yeah, gotcha.
That was technically before like the term biopic was around.
Was like a thing. Yeah. Right.
Now it's like, you could name like the top 20 biopics.
Right. And that's kind of like a Robert Downey Jr. movie that people forget about.
Right.
It was like before kind of all his antics.
And I almost, after he's finished with the Avengers and everything, which I never want that to end, I want him to go back to that type.
Serious acting.
Yes.
Yeah. Because the dude has the chops. Like,
oh
it's
my
time
gosh.
for him to like start winning awards.
Oh, I think he could
can.
absolutely win an Academy. I wonder if he was nominated for Chaplin.
I'm sure he was. I guarantee
I'm sure.
he was.
I should have looked that up beforehand.
I guarantee. I mean, the dude is so talented.
So good. I love him.
Yeah. This whole podcast could be about him.
Yes, it could. All right, well, before we continue, let's go on to number 9. What is your number 9?
My number 9 is The Queen.
Oh!
Featuring Helen Mirren.
Oh, my, okay. I was doing my dishes right before you came over. And I thought to myself, I need to add The Queen to my list. But
really?
I didn't want to bump anything.
Oh, so you don't have it,
huh? I don't. Isn't that
cool.
sad?
No, this is good.
I love that movie.
Oh,
and I love The
blown
Queen.
Away. Yeah.
And I love her corgis.
See, right, yeah. See, this movie, for me, again, is, the standout is Helen Mirren's performance.
Oh, my goodness.
But it's still a great film. Like, it was terrific. And it gave you great insight to what the Queen's life was actually like, especially in such a hard time after Princess Diana's death.
Because really, we didn't see what was happening.
All the hardship that she took. I mean, the country, almost hated her at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, they really despised the royal family.
It was sad.
And it was very sad. And just to see her, that side of it, that you don't see, which is, which is what movies can do, the power of film.
And it makes you look at a person differently.
Oh, most definitely.
Because when I was growing up, I always heard I bet the Queen was behind it.
Right.
All these conspiracy theories.
Yeah, exactly. Growing up, that's what you heard. You thought the royal family killed Princess Diana.
Sorry, guys.
So,
I wish I would have put that on my list.
Oh my gosh, blown away. I mean, she easily won the Academy Award. One was. She became Queen Elizabeth.
Now, who was the guy that's in that?
Oh, I can't.
Is it Kevin? No. Kenneth Branagh. No.
You mean that plays Prince Charles?
Yeah.
Or her husband? Who's her husband?
There's oh gosh, I don't remember.
Martin Sheen plays the Prime Minister.
Yes.
A young Tony
I knew
Blair.
that there was one big...
He plays a young Tony Blair. But the guy that plays her husband is a famous actor and has been in many things.
Wait, is he the guy who's in Babe?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's him.
I never remember his name, but I love him.
Yeah, he's
And I
great.
do a really good impression of him in Babe. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
That'll do, pig. That'll do. Oh, wait, no. Wait, that sounded more like Shrek.
Shrek, yeah.
He's more like, that'll do, pig. That'll do.
There you go.
I love that movie.
Who doesn't love Babe?
I'm sorry.
Sidetrack.
I get so off on a tangent.
Oh, that's fine. No.
Okay. That
I'm
was
good.
a very
Yeah,
good pick
great
for
movie.
number 9.
Okay, I'm glad you like my pick.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
You're number 9.
Now, my number 9, I had to have it on here because I love it so much. And this is why I said that we could add television. My number 9 is the miniseries John Adams.
Oh my gosh.
Because
what a good pick.
not just Paul Giamatti as John Adams, but the
Laura
guy who
Linney.
plays...
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, Laura.
Laura Linney.
Laura Linney in that... I've got goosebumps.
It's amazing.
Oh, she's
Yeah,
so
sorry.
good.
What were
And
you-
the guy who plays George Washington, which, again, I cannot remember his name. But I've only seen him in that and like a couple of other smaller roles, but he was in The Green Mile.
Oh.
He's like Tom Hanks' really good friend in The Green Mile, who, I don't know, I just really like him as an actor.
Really?
But he plays George Washington.
I think I remember that.
I thought he was great.
Terrific miniseries.
Oh my gosh.
Terrific miniseries.
It's incredible. And Paul Giamatti is
so good.
So good.
Oh my gosh. I had to watch that in one of my classes, and I'm glad.
I think I did too.
I'm glad they made us watch that.
Me too.
Because it's so good.
The scene when they show him, George Washington doing his first inaugural address. I like cry every time.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So good.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, just from
Good
all
one.
of those, I had to add that in there.
Good one.
That was
That
why
is
I.
terrific. Yeah.
Thanks.
Some great performances there too.
Oh, absolutely.
Like we said.
It makes me want to watch it again. And I think it was on HBO.
I think it might have been.
It had to
HBO.
have been because
If
it's
not,
got some graphic
it'd
stuff
be
in there. But
Showtime or something like that.
yeah, something
it's
like
probably
that.
one of those two.
Yeah, but I definitely recommend. We recommend all these movies, obviously.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to number 8.
Okay. Alrighty, my number 8.
Yes.
Sorry, I had to look.
It's all right.
I don't have these memorized. My number 8 is Ray.
Okay, we're gonna bump that one because mine, I have that higher up on my list.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that.
Okay, but that's
later
my number
on.
8.
Okay.
So
should we go to my number 8?
Your number 8. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about it later.
Okay, my number 8 is Saving Mr. Banks.
Oh my gosh! Oh, what a good one!
Yes, and that's another one I just thought of today, and I had to add it in.
What a good one!
I just loved that movie so much.
I was crying at the end.
Me too.
It was so good.
Well, and it's just so much nostalgia, just like Disney
With
himself
Disney,
and Mary
exactly,
Poppins and the music and
right.
everything.
There's so much going on.
Yes, and I thought
what
one
a
of the
good movie.
standout parts of that movie was Colin Farrell as her dad. Like when it would go to flashbacks.
What a good point.
He was
so
excellent.
good at that. He was so good.
And I didn't even know he was in it until I was sitting there watching it.
No, not at all. You go.
Because he wasn't in the trailers
That's
or
Colin
anything.
Farrell, yeah.
And
I
he
know
was
who that is.
so good.
He was terrific. Wow, I'd like to watch that again.
Me too.
Wow.
I think I've only seen it like twice.
Really?
But
I've only seen it once.
It stands out in my memory.
It really does. And it gives you a great backstory. Again,
Yes.
it sheds some light what a movie can do, what other, it gives you some great insight into a story you never would have known about.
And it makes me want them so bad, and I'll bring this up later. I want them to just make more I just love movies about Hollywood itself.
Oh, sure.
And
yeah.
Behind the
And
scenes.
that was old school,
Yes, and I would love for them to do that with Disney.
They had the Sherman Brothers,
Right.
She was, they were trying to make the musical.
And I couldn't believe how much she hated it.
She hated it, yeah.
How can you hate Mary Poppins?
Right.
Although, shout out to a friend who, if they're listening to this, they'll know who they are, who hates Julie Andrews and hates Mary Poppins.
What?
I know. I think she's the devil. No, I'm just kidding.
Impossible.
I
cannot
know.
believe that. We'll have to put a pin in that and go back
she's.
to that because I don't want to hear about
Oh,
it.
I'll definitely tell you later.
How can you not like Julie Andrews
I
or Mary
know.
Poppins?
It's like, are you un-American?
That's right.
Wait, she's not even American, but oh well.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh well. Right.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to your number 7.
Okay. Wait, you just did.
Yes, that was my number 8. We bumped your number 8.
What a good one. Okay, my number 7 is The Fighter.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I'm ashamed of myself for not even remembering.
Oh really?
That's a biopic.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, such a good movie.
It's a total biopic. Yeah.
And you love Christian Bale.
I love Christian Bale.
And he's excellent in that movie.
It is like an excellent role of his.
And isn't that the movie where he got so much about losing how much weight he had to lose because he gets so tiny.
He
in that
does,
movie.
yeah, because he is such like a dedicated actor.
Is he a method actor?
I believe so.
He probably, yeah.
Because he's really changed his physical appearance in multiple films, and this was no exception. Like he did it in this one. Because he was addicted to drugs. I think I think it was crack. I'm not positive.
It was something.
Some kind of hardcore drug.
Yeah.
Well, and he was a star. Then he hit the drugs. Then he hit rock bottom. And then his brother gets big.
Exactly. And Mark Wahlberg is really good in that movie too.
Yeah, I'm not
100% sold on Mark.
I'm not a huge Mark Wahlberg fan in a serious role.
Right.
Yeah. He can act though.
He was good in that movie.
I really enjoyed him in this movie.
I think
thought Amy Adams was terrific in this movie as well.
She was in
Melissa Leo was good in this movie. She won an Academy Award, and so did Christian Bale.
So those two.
The two supporting roles won.
Was Mark nominated?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Amy was too. Like they all were nominated.
Wow.
It was a terrific film, and I watched it on. It was like on. We had it on. I used to have Stars.
Oh,
or whatever.
It was
and
on
it was
there?
on, and it was on there, and I just was like.
And that's when you watched it the first time.
I'm gonna watch this, because I was like,
wow.
I mean, I love Christian Bale. That was probably about a year or two ago.
And I think that there was some hubbub about it because he technically, if you think about it, if you were the nominating committee who nominates, you'd say he was a leading actor in that movie.
Who's that?
Christian Bale. But they wanted, I'm pretty sure it's for this movie, they wanted him to be nominated at least, so they put him in the supporting actor category because someone who was in that leading actor that year was like had to win. I don't remember who it was.
Really?
But I think there's like a whole controversy because they're like they just put him in the supporting actor so he could win.
So he'd win.
Yeah.
It could have been like Lincoln,
I'm pretty sure.
Or something like that.
Oh, it could have been.
Because everyone knew that Daniel Day-Lewis was going to win for Lincoln.
He wins for like everything he's ever in.
Right. So
I think it was that year.
I mean, Christian probably had a great. Putting him supporting for that role.
Yeah.
Because he went all out. He was terrific in this movie.
And that's just a great movie all around.
He was really good in this movie.
That's one I need to watch again. Okay, so are we going to my number 7?
Yep.
Okay, so my number 7 is A Beautiful Mind.
Oh yeah. I don't have this on my list, but I definitely thought about it.
I just watched it recently, so that's why it was one of the first ones I thought of.
And see, I think I've only seen bits and pieces.
Pieces and bits.
Pieces and bits of that one. So that was. I was like, I can't put this on my list because I don't know if I've seen it start to finish.
Well, and see, I wanted to put Amadeus on my list, but I've only seen the first half of that movie. So there's a lot that I wanted to put on my list, but I just I haven't fully seen it.
If you haven't seen it, you're not giving it any justice.
Exactly.
If you're gonna put it on your list.
And these I wanted to truly be like my favorites.
Right.
And that one, I just think that story of his life, his name was John Nash. His story is just great, but it's the way they tell it. Because there's
Ron Howard, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
There's a twist at the end. I'm not going to say what it is.
There is a twist.
But I was like so thrown by the twist.
Really?
And it's just
I've heard
And Russell Crowe, of course, is amazing.
Yeah, that was when he was at his peak.
Yes.
He was at the top
and
of the
there's
world.
a lot of people in that movie. Oh gosh.
I think Jennifer Connelly won the Academy Award for that movie.
Yes, she did, and
I'm surprised that he didn't win.
Russell?
He might have.
No, I think he was nominated, but doesn't he? He only has one for Gladiator, right?
Did he win for Gladiator?
I don't know. Let me look this up really fast because I feel like he either won for Gladiator or for
I thought Gladiator won Best Picture.
It did.
Okay.
And A Beautiful Mind won Best Picture.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. It won for 2001.
Are those back-to-back years? That's craziness.
I think it was.
That's
craziness. Russell was on a roll.
On a roll.
Okay, nope, I was wrong. He was nominated.
For what?
for Best Leading Actor for A Beautiful Mind. And then it won Best Picture. She won Best Supporting Actress, and then Ron won
for Best Director.
And it won for Best Writing.
Dang.
Yeah. That's incredible.
So then he won for...
So I know he has one. I'm on his IMDb page right now. And of course it's loading as slow as molasses.
Of course.
And there's a network error. Okay, I just know he won something somewhere.
I guess it had to be
great.
For Gladiator then. We'll figure it out somehow.
Yes, someday we'll talk about that.
We'll on our next podcast.
Right. Okay, so that was my number 7. Did we do your number 7?
Mm-hmm. My number 7 was
The Fighter. Okay, so we're on to your number. Was A Beautiful Mind.
Okay.
Yes.
So now we're on my number 6. My number 6 is Catch Me If You Can.
Okay, we're gonna have to bump that.
Okay. I knew you were gonna have it.
I
knew you were gonna have it on yours.
We recently talked about that movie, so
I knew you were gonna have it on.
We'll have to bump it up.
Okay, already. So
my number 6
Yep, your number 6.
Okay, my number 6 is one that popped into my head and is such a good movie, and I don't know if you've seen it, but I hope you have. It's called The Conspirator.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's wonderful. Okay,
Really?
It came out, I'd say, in 2012 or 13, and it's about the trial after Lincoln was assassinated, and they arrested Mary Surratt, and they arrested her son. Actually, no, they couldn't catch her son because her son was in with John Wilkes Booth, and it's about that trial, and Robin Wright plays her.
Really?
And then James McAvoy is the guy who represents her in court. And,
Really?
And it's history, so
right.
Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie, but she was the first woman to be executed because they lost the trial.
Whoa.
Because they said that she was a conspirator to kill Abraham Lincoln.
Oh my goodness.
And who is it? Evan Rachel Wood is in it.
I don't know anything about it.
It really kind of went under the radar.
Yeah.
And the studio who made it, it's some kind of like historical, like it's just for history movies, and I forget. I was all into it when it first came out, but they were like planning on making something else,
like just historical films,
right?
That's fascinating.
And there's a lot of people in it, like okay, the guy in The Patriot, who plays like the head British, not the really evil guy, but the head British guy.
Frank Langella?
No, he's like this older guy that you see in like every British movie ever. This is really vague. Never mind. I'm just babbling now. That's what I do best. No. But he's in it, and he's really good.
Christi Babbles.
It's Balisti Babbles.
Oh, excuse me. Balisti Babbles.
Okay,
sorry.
thank you.
Sorry.
But we'll have to watch this movie sometime because it is wonderful.
To. Oh.
And I learned so much from it, too.
Oh, I'd love to watch it.
It's great.
Love to watch it. I love that stuff.
Yes.
I love it.
You would love it.
Cool.
So, okay, so that was my number 6.
Okay.
So, are we on to your number 5?
I'm on to my number 5.
Okay.
My number 5 is Amadeus.
Okay.
Yeah, so then
I'm so ashamed.
Don't be ashamed. I hadn't seen A Beautiful Mind, I knew, and I mean that was one that when I was researching that kept coming up.
Right.
You know,
probably just because it won Best Picture.
Well, it was such a big movie.
But did Amadeus win Best Picture?
Amadeus did win Best Picture.
And Tom
Hulce did not.
Did not win, but he was nominated.
But the supporting actor,
the guy who.
His name's Abraham.
In the movie or his real name?
No, his real name.
Oh,
I can't remember. It's like F. Abraham something. He plays Salieri.
Okay.
Who is his rival?
Is he the guy who kills him? Does he die at the end?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, spoilers. I haven't seen the end.
It's just it's a wonderful movie because it is very historical and it takes you on. It gives you an insight to what Amadeus Mozart was like.
Wow.
And he was this child prodigy, and revolutionized music. Classical music back then.
I need to watch it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's it was in that time period, in the early 90s, late 80s, when they were doing periodic pieces.
Yes, which I love.
Right.
And that's when they did them right.
Yes.
I feel like when they do that time period now, it just seems like
yeah,
fake.
Right.
Or, I mean, it feels like it's not authentic.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but
Good point with authentic. Good word. So yeah, this feels very authentic.
Yes.
The costuming's all
Oh,
right. Like,
that's what I
the
remembered
music's
most.
all right. Like everything's great. And I think the way that they portrayed Mozart was great because he was this.
Wasn't he very like?
He was brash. He was
and flamboyant.
He was very flamboyant.
And just
he,
that's what I remember from watching.
He was
the first
not your
half.
traditional composer back then. He he liked to party. He liked to stay up all night. He liked to drink.
Dang.
Yeah, he just So and here was Salieri, who was classically trained, and
Totally
did everything
serious.
totally serious, and totally jealous,
Of course,
of this kid that was so much better than him. It just came to him, and this guy that had worked his entire life, to write operas, because that's ultimately what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They're writing operas. So, it was just, and I mean, it's got it all. It's got the jealousy, the mystery, and deceit,
the music,
it's just the costuming, the acting.
Overall, just a great movie.
Yeah, it was a good one. I mean, it won Best Picture, so. But like I said, the guy that played Salieri, I knew it's Abraham something.
I don't think
It's gonna drive me nuts.
When I watched the first half a few years ago, I didn't recognize him.
Yeah, he's been in a few films.
Okay.
But he won the Academy Award.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is he a British actor?
I don't
You
think
think
so. No. His performance was terrific.
I
can see why he won.
Yeah.
Well, and it starts with him telling the story.
Okay.
He's an older version of himself.
I think that's why I was confused.
Oh, that's probably
when
why.
When I watched it.
Oh, yeah, because it starts with him. It starts and then it goes back. He's telling a story about what happened.
Okay, I really need to watch that again.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's definitely a good one.
It's a masterpiece. It's an epic.
It's an epic.
It is.
It is.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, so that was your number 5.
That was my number 5.
Okay, so my number 5 is The Aviator.
Oh, great one. But I haven't seen all of it. I've only seen some of it.
Okay.
So that's one
I feel like you have one and I haven't seen it all. I have one and you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But that's good.
Yeah.
We have variety.
Exactly.
Well, and I just watched this like a month ago for the first time.
Did.
Because I think that you told me I needed to watch it because you.
What?
I think you did.
I probably told you about Kate Blanchett's
How Kate's in it.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew she was in it. I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know that she played Katharine Hepburn.
Oh, you didn't.
I did not.
Oh yeah, that's why she won.
Well, I didn't really even know that it was about Howard Hughes either. I
didn't.
Because at the library, I would see the case and it has Leo's face and a plane, and I was like, okay, so it's about a pilot, but it's not about a pilot, obviously.
Like he's in aviation, but
he's not
also,
like
he did movies, like he did
everything.
He was like he was at the top. He had a ton of money.
And I thought Leo was great in that, but I thought that Kate was the standout of that movie.
Oh, most definitely.
She is
the parts that I've seen.
good.
Yeah, her as Catherine were terrific.
And Catherine is such a character within herself. Like it's hard to duplicate.
We were talking about that. Yeah, she's very unique.
You've seen me try to do a Catherine accent. Should I try
hard,
it?
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just try it. Charlie, get the peppercorn. I cannot do it because she like has an accent, but I don't. No,
but it's not an accent. It's just like
somehow
Katharine Hepburn.
Kate just did it.
Kate got it.
Because Kate is Kate.
Blanchett.
Oh my gosh, she's a goddess.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, so that was my number 5 because it's a recent favorite of
Gwen
mine.
Stefani's in that.
She is for a little bit.
She plays someone. Yeah,
she plays like oh man,
she plays someone like
it's like Mae West or something.
Yeah,
I can see her in my head.
Yeah,
and then isn't Kate? Oh, I was about to say Kate Bosworth. It's not her.
That's what you were gonna say.
Oh gosh, what's her name? She's in it, and she plays. Oh man, never mind.
That's all right.
I can't think.
That's okay.
There's another girl, a dark-headed brunette, who's in a ton of stuff, and I know her name. I just can't think of it.
Gotcha.
She's really good.
Okay, it'll come to you.
Yeah, it will. It'll come to me like at the end of this show.
Exactly.
Okay, so moving on to your number 4.
Oh, we're moving down the list.
Yes, we are.
All right, my number 4 is Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
OMG.
Yeah? Not on your list?
It's not on my list.
Oh,
I didn't even
good
think
one.
about it.
Oh, you didn't?
And I haven't seen it all either.
You haven't? Oh,
haven't.
Christy, you've got to.
And you know I love those two fellas.
Paul Newman and Robert Redford, like, you got to see it just for that. It's them in their prime. Like,
in my mind, I'm married to Paul Newman, so
yeah.
I'm ashamed of myself.
Don't we all wish?
Yes, we do.
You've got to see it. Oh, it's so great. It's just, it's the perfect outlaw movie. Oh. It's so good, and they're such a good pair. And
it's based on real people?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, definitely.
Dang.
It's fantastic.
And is it kind of like a Western?
Oh, it is. Yeah, they're out in the West.
Because it's set in that Old West time, right?
I'd say it's probably like Civil War era.
Okay.
Because the West was still very, kind of wild. It was still kind of the Wild West. Yeah, right.
I really need to watch it.
You do. It's so good. And, they're con men. Mm-hmm. And they're not really con men. They're thieves.
Okay.
So they...
I get that movie mixed up with The Sting.
Yeah.
A lot.
That's when they're con men.
Right.
When The Sting.
But it's just
so in this one, they're thieves, and they're bank robbers, ultimately. Oh. But they're out in the West, so they,
do what they want.
Right. So they steal from, banks, and they steal from train cars. They find the trains that's transporting the money. And
I see it.
Finally, they take it too far, and some people get on their tail. And they're professionals. They can't shake them because they're the best at what they do. So they can't shake them. Then they ultimately end up fleeing the country. And
oh my gosh, was that the end of the movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
They actually go to I can't remember. It's some sort of South American country. Something like Costa Rica or
dang.
And they're gonna go down there and be thieves and rob because they know they can get away with it. So, and they do, and it shows their life down there. And, it's pretty fascinating.
I've got to watch it.
And they meet with the guys again. Yeah, it's great. One of the reoccurring lines in the film is, "Who are these guys?" Because they keep showing up.
Oh my gosh!
Because they can't shake them. They just can't shake them. And it's just because they stole from the wrong guys.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So. That sounds so good.
It's good, and the ending's classic. The ending is a classic ending. It's just, there are a few classic parts in that movie.
Man, such a good movie. I've heard. That's what you see on every list.
Right.
I need to watch that
it's
ASAP.
So good.
I'm gonna
write number 4.
I'm gonna borrow your top 10 list,
okay,
so I know what to watch.
Borrow some of yours
yes,
too.
I'll send you mine too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Oh, okay. You're number 4.
Number 4. Okay, so this is one I bumped. My number 4 is Ray.
Oh, nice.
It's way up there. What did you have it as?
Mine was number 8.
Wow.
It was the Ray for me.
I don't know if it's the age I was when I saw Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to say it came out when I was in 7th or 8th grade.
We were probably in junior high.
Yeah.
I think we were in junior high when it came out.
I loved it.
Oh, it was so good.
Because I love Ray Charles' music.
Right.
And just his life story.
Oh, what a story.
And his performance in that. Oh my gosh.
Unreal.
It's like he is
Ray
reincarnated.
He was meant to play that role. I mean, it's unreal.
He was born to play Ray.
I mean, there was no one to challenge him for the Academy Award. That's how good it was.
And is there any other actor you can even think of that just already looks like him without really any prosthetic or wig or anything, and then can also sound exactly like him? And the movement he could do.
Unreal.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it's the epitome of biopic.
Yeah, that's why I think I have it so high up on my list.
That's a good point. It is a through and through a biopic.
Yes. And just Ray Charles' past and his story
was the stuff he was into and just what he went through to get where he was.
Right. And I love that Ray Charles was still alive to be there for the movie, and then didn't he pass away before it was finished or right after it?
I don't remember that.
I think
I don't know.
because he was able to be there with Jamie Foxx and
really?
Talk to him, which is incredible.
Was he?
But I think
incredible.
that he did pass away either right after it came out or
Really?
a little before.
And I love that actress. I can't remember her name that plays his wife.
Yes.
Is it?
Oh, what is her? Oh, wait a minute.
It's not.
It's Kerry Washington.
Is it Kerry Washington?
Yes, but I wasn't. I was thinking of his
know who I'm
mistress.
talking about. Yeah,
yes.
his mistress. Yeah, because I thought maybe that his mistress was his wife for a second. Kerry Washington is his wife.
Which I think that was the first
kind of
time
one of her first big roles.
And isn't she gorgeous?
She is. Now to think about it, they played husband and wife again in Django.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even put those two together.
That's crazy to think about.
Dang. Oh, and Django, that is such a good
movie.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I forgot, but the woman that plays his mistress, because she's a singer in his
and she's the one who in the Hit the Road Jack, she does the don't care if you do because
yes, she does. My favorite part.
Oh, mine too.
She's great. She was really good. I really enjoyed her role in that.
No, look up what her name is. I haven't seen her in anything recently.
It's true.
She was in Miss Congeniality too.
Yeah, she was.
And she was funny.
She was.
She's got good comedic timing.
She does, yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So that was my number 4, your number 8.
That was your number 4 and my number 8. Yep.
Wow, that's where we had that on the. I knew you that would be on your list.
Oh, it has to be.
I just didn't know where you would put it.
The epitome of,
That's I think okay. That I feel like is the first biopic that they called a biopic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, because right after that came Walk the Line. And they were like biopic, and it started just a trend of artist biopics. I think at least that's what I noticed at that time.
I think that's a good point. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we're moving on to number 3.
Shoot, yeah.
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is The King's Speech.
Oh, bless you.
I didn't know what you were gonna say.
I forgot I had that as my number 8. And that's what Saving Mr. Banks took the place of.
Oh, you replaced it with Saving Mr. Banks.
Because The King's Speech is so good.
Such a good movie.
It
was such a good movie.
I wish I would have left it on there now.
It was terrific. I really enjoyed that film.
It took me forever to watch that.
Did it really?
Yeah.
God, it was so good. And I mean, just the story's great. It was a story that I was not familiar with whatsoever. Neither. And I mean, I feel like most people weren't, unless you're into history. Unless you're a history buff,
how
or
would you
teach history,
or it might have been a big history thing
in England.
Oh,
right,
but
I'm sure it was. Yeah,
I'm sure.
Right,
because wasn't that a big thing that he?
Oh, I'm sure, because he was going to be king. Well, wasn't it because of his brother abdicated?
Yes,
and he became king by default.
Which that would be terrifying.
So that was a big ordeal because his brother abdicated.
Yes,
and another role that actually I found out that he was in that character. Who's the king? I can't remember.
The character or the actor
was in Hudson on Hyde Park.
Or Hyde Park on Hudson. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because they
came over and visited.
And they were younger then.
Yeah,
but
they were younger.
That was after he became king, though, right?
That was right after he had become king. Yeah.
Wow. They should have had Colin Firth play him, but he would have been too old at the time.
He would have been too old, yeah. Because
I didn't really put that with that movie, because I've seen them both, but I just didn't see that same character.
Yeah, it was... Wow. It was so good. Helena Bonham Carter's role as... I mean, is she Elizabeth?
No. She's I forget what her name was. But Elizabeth is a kid. She's there as a kid in it.
Oh, that's right.
Because he has his little daughters. And they have corgis in this one, too.
That's right, they do. Wait, so his daughter would be...
Elizabeth.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I see. All right. I guess I didn't need to remember that.
Indeed.
And Jeffrey Rush was so good at it.
I think he was my favorite.
He might have been the best part.
Colin was
as the
amazing.
vocal coach. Yeah,
the three of them were.
He might have been the best part. Yeah, the three of them were so good, and it was just truly inspiring because it took you on a journey.
Yes.
And at the end, it was so satisfying, because.
And I think I liked it because I had no idea what really happened and no person to put the character with, like I'm comparing it to, So I think that added just more
definitely
for me to be able to just get sunk in to Colin Firth's performance.
That won him his Academy Award.
Yes, and did Helena win too?
I don't think she did.
Okay.
Jeffrey was nominated.
Okay.
The King's Speech might have won Best Picture.
I think it did.
And Thomas Hopper might have won Best Director.
Really?
I think those three might have won.
I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure.
I would look at it. I'm almost positive. Yeah. I know that it's on my best picture list.
Gotcha.
So I think you're right.
Okay. So
Such a
that
good
was
one.
my number 3.
Okay, my number 3. It's a weird one.
Is it?
Because I feel like I kind of forget that it's a biopic, but it's one of like my favorite movies, possibly.
Really?
My number 3 is Patch Adams.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in
A long time.
over 10 years. I mean, it's been a long time.
Like, I watched it so much as a kid.
I was a kid when I saw it.
And if you haven't seen it, people, it's Robin Williams at his best.
Right.
And he in this movie, he's not only his comedic self, but he's also so serious and dramatic, which he was also so good at.
He was.
And the guy, and I actually have the book of the actual guy in my library here somewhere.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, but it's this doctor or this guy who was like on the brink of committing suicide, and while he like checked himself into rehab, and I don't know if this was true, but like the rehab part is true. He like was with this guy and he helped him just by laughing, and he like improved the lives of, I guess, the inmates he was with.
Yeah.
Although they're not really prisoners, but
Right.
he decided to dedicate his life to medicine and helping people. So he went to medical school when he was in like 35.
Gosh, wow.
It's
I didn't really
so
realize
good.
that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And what he wanted to do was open a medical center that was completely free, and just
Whoa.
yeah, which
wow.
it's such a good movie. Like, it's
I need to
funny
rewatch
and it's
it.
touching, and although at the end I found out there's this big turning point at the end, and it's totally fictional. But
they
it
changed it
really
for the movie.
yeah, which they do a lot.
They tend to do quite a bit.
But
yeah,
still,
to
it's
have a movie
just overall one of my favorite movies about a real person.
Wow. Okay.
It's wonderful.
Then I'll need to watch it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's great, and it has a really good soundtrack too.
Ooh.
Because it takes
love
place,
that.
I think, in like late 60s, early 70s.
Oh, it does?
I believe so.
Wow,
Yeah,
I don't really remember it that well
it's good
at
stuff.
all.
Like, they have that one song that I that I love. It's like, good love, good love.
Oh, by the Rascals?
Yes!
Oh.
I'm so glad you know that
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It took me a second.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Wait, you couldn't tell right away from my perfect
Your
way of
perfect
singing?
imitation
Yeah.
of the song.
I was like all the Rascals in one
no,
body.
You're right. It was
Yeah.
perfect.
Thank you.
I knew it right away.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we have 2 left.
We do have 2 more
This
left.
is the big roundup now.
It
okay.
is.
What is your number 2?
My number 2 is Cinderella Man. What'd you forget about it? You did!
I feel like I've had this reaction with
this.
every movie that you've
Yeah.
said.
It's about 3 of them. 3 or 4 you've had quite a reaction to.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so
Russell
glad
has
that
come up a lot
few
on our
on
list.
these, yeah. I'm so surprised that on some of these you're like, I didn't even think of them.
I
I'm
cannot
glad that
believe-
I've come up with some of them that you haven't thought of.
That's such a good movie.
Oh my
and I feel
gosh,
like it's so underrated.
It's so underrated.
so
And we were just
good.
talking about Russell. How could we have not brought this movie up? I completely
I
forgot
know,
it was almost on my
I'm
list.
ashamed of myself.
Oh my gosh, it is so
Oh
good.
my God.
I mean,
oh, so good.
talk about an inspiring movie. I mean, it is
Beyond
terrific.
inspiring.
Oh, it's terrific. I watched it. I feel like in a class,
I think I did
and
too.
I loved it in class, and I've seen it multiple times ever since.
I think
it is such a good film.
It might have been a movie we
Like
would
a
watch
US
like
history?
for the depression.
For the depression, yeah.
Because it really does show
it's
an accurate picture of
they're
it.
totally struggling through the depression.
It's
and I
so
mean,
sad.
they don't have heat. They can't feed their kids. One of their kids is terminally ill.
Yeah.
Like, is really getting sick.
I've got goosebumps.
Do you really? I mean, it is an inspiring movie.
So good.
And it's a biopic.
Man,
And
Russell's done
Russell
quite a
is-
few
yeah,
of those.
Right. I mean, good grief. I would have thought that he would have had a shot at winning the Academy Award for
Was
this
he?
movie.
Was he nom?
I don't remember.
I don't think it was
I
nominated.
don't remember. Paul
Which is a
Giamatti
shame.
was his coach.
Oh right,
Renee
and
Zellweger was
she
his
was
wife.
the wife.
I mean, it was good. It was terrific. I really
Such a
enjoyed
and
it.
that might be my favorite boxing movie.
That was another thing I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of inspiring boxing movies out there.
Yes.
And I think this might be at the top for me.
I think it is too,
Like,
because
this one might
the
be-
reason he's doing it
Is
is
so incredible.
inspiring that
Right.
he's doing it for his family. Like, that's what
Exactly.
he has to do to make
Because he
ends
can't get
meet.
work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like, there's others like Rocky and The Fighter
There's Rocky,
and stuff.
The Fighter,
But I
yeah.
just think this one might be my favorite.
Yeah.
It would definitely be on my top favorite sports
movies? Oh.
We might have to do that list,
Ooh,
too.
that would be a good one. Yeah, that would definitely be right at the top of my
Such a good one.
sports movies.
Man,
Sports films.
shout out to Russell.
Shout out to Russell.
Woo!
Yeah, the highlight of the
Yeah,
podcast.
he's popped up quite a bit.
Yeah, he has. Good for him.
Very good for him. Okay, are you ready for my number 2?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
My number 2 is Schindler's List.
Oh, I knew it was going to come up.
Yep.
I haven't seen it. I know. Gasp. Yes,
Oh
I
my-
haven't
well,
seen it. I haven't seen
I
it.
only watched it maybe 2 years ago.
Really?
Because any movie that's about the Holocaust, like, I can only really
You
watch
don't
it once.
Right.
Because it, like, affects me for a week.
Exactly. Like, it's like any movie about, it's going to be one that stays with you.
Yes,
like,
and because that time period.
Right.
And all of that.
And I
is
think
just
that's why I shy
avoiding
away from
it,
Yeah.
yes.
But it's one of those that people tell you
it's
have to see.
Yes,
You
it's a
have to see it.
cinematic.
You
It's not
have
only
to watch it.
cinematically epic
Yeah.
and perfect,
Mm-hmm.
but the story itself and the acting in it is
Yeah.
A++++. Plus.
Right. Yeah.
Because
I've gotta
Liam in
watch
it is so good.
Right. Everyone says
I
that's
cry
Liam
every
movies.
time. Mm-hmm.
That's Liam's movie. Like that's the big one. Yeah.
And I know I said that my list was mostly rewatchability, but I had to put it near the top. 'Cause
Oh yeah.
It's
Well,
I think it's one of the best cinematic or cinematography.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best I've ever seen.
Really?
I think.
Wow. I mean,
Steven is the best.
when I was researching, like, it popped up every time.
Oh,
I mean, every
yeah.
single time as when I researched, it popped up. It was
It's
one of the
so
first ones to
good.
pop up. So I was just like, I can't put it down because
Yeah.
I haven't. I mean, I've seen a few scenes,
Right.
but I've never seen it start to finish.
And the guy that it's actually about is, and I didn't. Whenever I would always hear you gotta watch it, I didn't know it was a true story.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that,
Yeah.
but it is.
Yeah.
And at the end, they show the real people that were kind of like there,
You're kidding.
like from the Holocaust.
You're kidding.
We have to watch it.
Wow, I guess we do.
And no one can watch that movie, which is mostly in black and white
Right.
with a few pops of color
Right.
here and there.
Like,
no
like
one can watch
red,
that.
that's like a theme?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's. I've got goosebumps again.
Do you really?
Steven is just. I love
Such
him.
a storyteller.
He's just
an incredible
the,
storyteller.
the best.
Yeah.
Because just that, seeing just that little. Anyway, sorry. You
gotta
haven't
see
seen
it.
it.
I've gotta see it. I've
but
gotta see
no
it.
one can watch that and tell me that black and white movies are boring.
Yeah.
And everyone was probably like, "Why is he making a black and white movie?" It's like
Yeah.
the '90s, people.
Right.
But it had to be made in black and white.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fascinating.
And the way he shot it is so old-fashioned, like.
Really?
Because,
I've
well,
gotta see it.
because as you know, I've been watching a ton of black and white
movies.
recently, and you can do so many different things with lighting and shadowing in black and white that you
Yeah.
can't really make that big of an impact with color.
No, exactly.
And I
right.
think that him doing that just made it even more.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Added a whole other layer.
It really did.
Interesting.
And the time period, like it went along with
Right.
with black and white and
Exactly.
everything.
Right.
But it's
Wow.
incredible.
I have to watch it.
Yes,
I have to.
we're gonna have to watch
It has
it.
to be one of the next ones.
I've
I
only
watch.
seen it twice.
Really?
Yeah,
Dang.
but I remember almost everything
Oh,
about
I'm sure
it
that's
because
one
it
that
left
sticks
an
with you.
impact.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to add that to
Right.
the
I think some of those heavy movies people try to avoid
Yes.
sometimes, and yeah.
I definitely did.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, I just
With
had
some
to.
of them, not with all of them, but with some of them. I mean, like you said, it's about the Holocaust. Like, come on.
Right. It's not something that you want to watch like every day of
like,
your
people
life.
don't want to sit down and watch that. Like, they just
Nope.
don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So we're down to our number ones. Oh, you do, because I left. Oh, dang
yeah,
it.
that's
Man,
all right.
mine
No
is
worries.
anticlimactic. Well, I'm excited to see what yours is.
Are you? I wonder if you're gonna know.
Should I do mine first so yours is like the big
Sure.
reveal?
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we bumped yours up because
We
my
bumped-
number one
my number 6.
6. Up to number 1 is Catch Me If You Can.
Yay!
And can you believe it's my number 1?
No, I can't believe. I knew it was going to be on your list.
I love that movie
It's so
much.
good.
There's every single thing in it I love.
Oh, it's terrific.
I love the music and the time period and the costuming and the acting, and I just love Tom Hanks and Leo together,
they're
and
perfect together.
and Amy Adams. That was the first
Amy
time I saw
Adams.
her, and the story and the actual guy.
So good.
Like, it's
Didn't Martin Sheen play Amy Adams' dad?
yes,
Yeah.
and he was great.
He was
and
great.
Christopher Walken was Leo's dad.
Leo's dad. That's
So
right.
good.
Who is his mom? Like Sharon Stone?
No, she's like a. I don't know if I know what her name is. She's like a French actress. Because remember, she's like from France, and she's like,
That's
the
right.
the
I forgot about that.
the pastry. I come from France.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Since it's my number 1, you'd think I'd know her
Yeah.
name, but I don't.
Oh, that's fine. No worries.
Such
It's
a good
so
movie.
good. Well, just the way that he portrays being a doctor or
Yes,
a lawyer
and
or a pilot. I mean,
Oh.
just to see him do those kinds of scenes.
And a teacher.
Oh, yes. Like when he's like watching and he's imitating the lawyers and he's trying to act it out. Like,
Yes.
Leo's so good, and I mean,
I think
it's
that's
just,
one of my favorite movies that he's in.
Definitely. Oh, it's probably top 3 Leo for me.
He's great.
He's so
And
good at
I
it.
just love that what that man did back then you couldn't even do now.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all.
It was just I'm amazed by all the things
What
that he got away
he was
with.
able to do, yeah. And I mean, he just kept getting away.
Right. And what I love about it is that you root for Leo
You
and
do.
you root for Tom because
what
and
a good point.
neither one of them is the hero or the villain.
They're both
kind of
anti-heroes.
yeah, because Tom he's just Tom. He's so likable.
It's Tom.
Like
He's so likable.
I don't think he could be in a movie and you could not like his character.
He could be a villain and you'd still
I'd
like
still
him.
be like, you go villain, you kill
Right?
those people.
You would be rooting for
You
Tom.
go, Tom. But just
kill
you
those
kind of
people.
like you want him to catch him because he catches him or he chases him
Right.
for so long.
Right. Well, they kind of develop this friendship along the
Right,
way,
like
but it's like
when he
not
calls
a
him
friendship. Yeah, but
on
he
Christmas.
does call him. I mean,
Oh,
so
yes.
they have kind of this odd, like I said, you know,
And
friendship.
how they become friends, like legit friends at the end.
Legitimate friends, yeah. Like, and it's just, like you
Steven
said.
again?
Stephen again. Like you just said, like the time period and the costuming, the setting,
It's perfect.
the writing,
Yes.
the directing.
I
The
got
cast,
goosebumps.
the casting, the acting. It's one of
It's
those
perfect.
movies where everything clicks.
Yes.
Everything's clicking in that movie.
And I don't feel like a lot of people talk about that one either.
Nobody talks about that movie.
And it wasn't on the biopic list. I just knew that I wanted
it wasn't.
to add it.
See, that came up for me, and I mean, but I knew because like
We
we
had
had just
talked
talked about
about
it
it.
recently,
Right.
and I knew that I probably wanted to have that on there
Mm-hmm.
because it's so good, and I've always liked it. I watched it as a kid with my family when
I
it
did
first came
too,
out.
because I think it
And I
came out
liked
in
it
like
then.
2002 or
Yeah.
3.
I liked it then, and I've
Me
liked
too.
it ever since.
And
So-
watching it as an adult, it means it changed some of the things I saw than when I saw as a kid.
Definitely. Oh, definitely. Most definitely.
So good.
It's good stuff. Good stuff.
I want to watch it again.
Right? That's one that has great rewatchability.
Yes,
That
and
is
that's
a really
why
good one.
that's why it's my number
It's
one.
not, yeah, you can watch that movie. I mean, you can sit down and watch that movie multiple times a year.
And it's just
few times
it's
a
a
year.
feel good movie, even though you're
Exactly.
kind of dealing with a felon. I mean,
yeah,
he
he
stole
is a
tons of
felon,
money,
right.
but it's still like just
I mean, he's a runaway.
a happy movie.
Exactly, a happy movie.
It makes me happy.
Well, it's still got that Steven,
Yeah.
polish. It's
And
got that where
there's
it
just
still
something
somehow makes you feel good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like he just has that magic with every movie. I mean, other than
most
I mean,
definitely.
Schindler's List doesn't make you happy.
yeah,
but
like
he just has something.
Jurassic Park.
Oh my
Dinosaurs
gosh.
killing dinosaurs eating people,
yet
and
it's
yet still you
so
get like
good.
yeah, and still people are like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Jurassic Park's so great.
Well, we watched War Horse, which is one of my
It's
favorite.
about war.
And like so many, it's about such a hard time
Right.
period, but yet it's such a. I see it as an
still
uplifting movie.
It's still a feel-good movie. It
I
is
don't know
still
how-
a feel-good
how-
movie.
how does he
I don't
do
know
it?
how he does it, but he just does.
He's so good.
He's incredible.
Can I guess what your number one is?
Sure.
Okay, I'm probably wrong, but is your number one? Wait, is this a? Yeah, it's a biopic. Is it Saving Private Ryan?
It is not.
Dang it. Okay, is that one a biopic?
I don't think that is a biopic.
It's not?
I mean, I think is that based on a true story?
I thought
It might be based on true events.
I think you're right. It's just true events and not an actual person.
It might be based on true events.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm dying to know what your number one is. What's your
Really?
number one?
You are? Okay, my number one is Braveheart. Oh my gosh, you have done that like 5 times to mine.
I totally forgot.
You forgot about it, didn't you?
Yes,
yeah.
I did.
I'm so glad that I've come up with something that you have forgotten about.
That's one I haven't seen. I watched it when I was way too young.
Okay, yeah, right.
And I haven't seen the very end because people told me what happens and I can't handle it.
I feel like I've told you what happens at the
yes,
very end. It's brutal.
I'll just take your word for it.
But you gotta see it. I mean, but it's brutal.
I can't take things
talk
like that.
about an epic. I mean, it is an epic.
Absolutely.
Of epic proportion.
To say the least. Yeah, to say the least. Epic
right.
of epic proportions.
Yeah, I mean, that's
a good
journey.
number one.
I mean, it is an incredible journey. And, you know, it's... you're rooting for the underdog. You know, it's the classic... It's Scotland, you know, trying to, you know, stay independent from England.
Yeah.
And, I mean, England's the bad guy. The king is a terrible man.
Which,
he's a terrible man.
At that time...
He's a perfect bad
we
guy.
always, like... The English are always, like, the bad.
Right. Well, I mean, technically...
Yeah, but that
we're
time,
Americans.
yeah.
I mean, they were the bad guys.
Yeah, to us,
so,
they were.
Right. Well, and at that time period, the English were trying to dominate the world. I mean, they were becoming the superpower in the world. I mean, they were building their empire to incredible lengths.
Right.
So of course they were trying to make, a country that was right next to them a part of their,
we'll just take that over here.
Right, to make up, Great Britain or the United Kingdom.
I haven't seen it in so long.
I think as an adult you need to see it.
I do.
And I mean, like, as a kid, I loved it because the battles were.
I'm sure they were.
Whoa. I think they are epic.
I might have skipped past those because I was really young when I watched it.
They are on the gory side. They are intense.
Oh wow.
They are gory. They are bloody. I mean, it's Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson goes all out, like with that kind of stuff.
Did he direct?
He won for Best Director and it won for Best Picture.
And he's great in that movie. I do remember how good he
win.
was.
Yeah, he was nominated, but he didn't win. Terrific. I mean, and the movie is referenced all the time. I mean, it's just really had a significant impact.
They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom. I was holding. Did I?
Sorry.
And you should have seen my arm was raised.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
I was doing my best Scottish.
No, that was good.
Maybe I'll try it again some other time.
His look, the paint on his face.
Is he? Do you think has? Wait,
no, he's Australian.
He's Australian. Okay, he's Australian. Yeah, but he fooled me.
I mean, right? His accent is spot on. It's just a wonderful story.
Yes.
Well, it's not a wonderful story.
And the love story.
The love story as well.
Wow. I forget that it's based on a real person.
Right. That is true. Yeah, it's a biopic. It was based on him. So, I mean, I put it as my number one just because it
of them all, that's the biggest.
Exactly.
Probably.
Like, it is an ultimate biopic.
Yeah.
And even though it is a biopic about one guy, it is still about so much more than that.
Oh man.
So I put it as my number one because of that.
You had the better list.
I didn't. Oh my gosh.
Just now that I'm thinking about the ones you had, there were just some I just didn't even think about.
Right. Well, you had some that I didn't even think about either.
Yeah.
But that's good.
That's
good. Yeah, right. We had some good ones.
So all of these that we've mentioned, y'all, you need to see.
You need to see.
If you haven't seen them, and if you've only seen pieces and bits,
as
you have to.
Yes, as so many times.
Me too. You have to. We got to watch all of them.
Yep.
Okay, wow. So that was our top 10.
That's our top 10s.
And okay, we are going on an hour.
Are we really?
But you know what? I really want to talk about our three other things that we had.
Oh,
okay. So the reason we actually decided to do our top 10 biopics is because we were talking about Christopher Nolan last week.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about how he's going to be doing that war film that's coming up soon.
Yeah. It's named after like a town.
Okay.
Like where a battle happened.
Oh,
I can't remember the name
either,
or
but
the title of the town.
And
it's
just
some
a
European...
the tiny trailer I saw. Oh, sorry.
No, yeah, no.
It looks really good.
Yeah, it does look good.
But
I can't wait.
Me too. And I'm ready for Christopher Nolan to branch out to do things like that, which is why we decided we wanted to talk about if he were to make a biopic, who we would want him to make it about.
Yeah.
So I actually have... I had two,
okay.
But while we were talking about stuff, I thought of a third one.
Okay, you have multiples? Because
Yes, I have three.
Okay.
You know me, I can't narrow
That's
down just
too
one
hard.
thing.
Okay, so if you do three, I'll do three.
Okay, so do you want me to say my three?
Or we can go back
One
and
at a time.
forth.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Okay, so this isn't necessarily my top
We can talk
pick,
about each one.
But I thought a really good one would be Einstein.
That's one of mine!
No way!
Yes!
Wait, is it because you saw my book?
It is! It is so because I saw your book.
In my office, I have my library of books, and I have a giant Einstein book that's by Walter Isaacson that I haven't read yet.
Oh, there it is.
And that's not like why I thought of it, but I was like, we need a biopic about Einstein.
No, the thought crossed my mind before I saw that book. But then I just saw it, and then I was just like, I'm going to pick it. Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
Well, and because I feel like Christopher Nolan is incredibly intelligent.
He is.
And he would know how to
exactly
depict it.
He would have such a...
He would have fun.
He would have such a, not twist, but he puts his such a... Just the way he does things.
Yeah,
he
and
would
make
go
you
all
think.
Out. He would go all out on it.
Which I think would be great.
Oh, it'd be so... And I thought that, I thought about that. Because you start to think, okay, what kind of characters should a movie be made about?
Yes.
And
okay, if he made a movie about Einstein, who would play Einstein?
Right?
I don't even know, because Einstein was German, and right?
Yeah. He was Austrian. He was Austrian
okay,
or German.
Yeah, or Polish or something.
I think
somewhere over there.
Someone like James McAvoy. I could see him doing it.
Maybe if they made this maybe like 10 or 15 years from now.
He can maybe pull it off.
Yeah.
Because that guy can act.
Yeah, and I think he could be throughout his life. I really need to read that book because I honestly don't know a ton about Einstein.
Neither do I.
But Christopher Nolan, get on it.
Yeah, right.
Tell me what I need to
know. Make that movie, so now we'll know about
James
him.
McAvoy would be great.
I mean, that just popped in my head, but I think someone like him would be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
I definitely do.
Because he could pull off that crazy hair.
He could.
Just the intelligence and...
Yeah, I don't know, but there's something about him, like that he can... I don't know.
It's because he plays Professor X. No, I'm just kidding.
Right?
I mean, the opposite of Einstein with the hair, at least.
Exactly, right? Like, looks-wise, maybe a little off.
Yeah. So that was really one of yours?
Yeah, that's one of my three.
Okay,
that's definitely one
we
of
have
my
this. That means it has to happen because we both thought of it.
Exactly.
Okay, so what's another one you have on your list?
Okay, another
one that I have is Thomas Jefferson.
Oh,
yeah.
What was that going on with my voice?
Yeah, I don't know.
I turned into someone else.
Let
me get a whole drink here. You go ahead.
Refresh yourself. So, I was thinking about the kinds of characters that would need a story, because there are some characters that their stories are so significant that it would really adapt well to film.
Yes, it would.
And there's some that aren't, There's some that just simply aren't.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, when you start to think, Lincoln was a huge biopic by Steven.
Yeah.
And that was he did it really well, and
was
it went
on my
over
list,
well.
and I took him off.
Really, I've never seen it start to finish, but that's a different story. So I started thinking, and I've always been a fan of Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
He was so significant in the forming of our nation.
Yes, he was.
As the author of the Declaration, one of the authors of the Declaration of Independence, and he was also involved in the Constitution. Mm-hmm. And he was one of the founding fathers.
Right.
I mean, he literally.
And he's really the only one of the main founding fathers that we haven't seen a movie about him. Like, he's always a secondary character.
Exactly.
Like in that John Adams miniseries.
Or Hamilton.
Yes. Have you listened to Hamilton
Not
yet?
all of it yet. Yeah.
Well, he plays quite a great part in that.
I was going to say, he's a big part in that, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Great.
So, and I just have always liked him. He was such a well-rounded individual. He was so intelligent. He was an architect. He was a world-class architect. He traveled the world. I mean, he loved French wines. I mean, he was just...
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was very...
Maybe you should play Jefferson.
a redheaded Jefferson.
Why not?
Right.
Didn't he wear a
Might
wig
have
a
been
lot?
ginger. Yeah, right. So just...
Christopher Nolan would do so good with
I think so
with
too,
that.
yeah.
I think that he wouldn't make it like the typical movie you see back then.
Exactly. He would because he does things in such a different way.
And realistic.
Exactly. He shows things in a different light. Like,
yeah.
He doesn't do kind of like the traditional Hollywood film.
That wouldn't be like a biopic. It would
we're
be...
We're going to start from his birth and then we're going to go till his death. You know, that kind of thing.
I can see him going like backwards.
Maybe something like that, or
my face, sorry.
Or the way Stephen did it. Stephen did one significant part of Lincoln's life. That was so important, and
that
it was
so
incredible. It was such an impactful moment.
Well, and he could just do it at where Jefferson was at his prime with writing.
Exactly.
And
that was such a.
Isn't that like a 20-year gap between, or not 20 years, like 10 years?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Between the Declaration and
probably him becoming president.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that would be so good. Okay, so he needs to make Einstein.
I think it would be
and
good.
He needs to make Thomas Jefferson.
You think? Okay.
Or maybe he should do a mashup and like a science fiction where they're friends.
Oh God.
Like they're both zombies or vampires.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's hilarious.
I'm just kidding. That would be awful. I'm sorry.
No. Fan fiction.
I'll write that.
Do it.
And Chris can direct it.
Okay. That's hilarious.
Wow. Well, that was a really good one.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
So, do you have 2 picks or 3?
I have 3.
Okay,
so that
good.
was my second one.
Okay. So, my second one, this person, recently, they were talking about making a movie about him, but I think Chris would do great, is Freddie Mercury.
Oh, terrific
Wouldn't that
pick.
be great?
Love it. Yeah.
I just want them to make one about Freddie.
Yeah.
But I just think Chris would do great.
One. I love that idea.
Yeah.
I was thinking about musical artists.
Yes. And I feel like that's the trend,
right.
Mostly.
A lot of biopics have been made about musical artists because some of them have,
incredible past
Some
and
of them
impact.
Have, right. So, yeah, that's a good one.
That'd be a good
one.
one.
I mean, he would do something great with it.
And I still think, because they were talking about having Sacha Baron Cohen be in a movie about Freddie Mercury, and I still think he would be good. It was in the works, and then it just faded out.
I could see him looking the part, definitely.
Yeah.
Although he's like super tall, isn't he? I don't think Freddie Mercury wasn't that tall.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
Well, and you know who I think of automatically is because when Queen would go out on tour, Adam Lambert would sing. Yeah, he would sing like his part. He would.
Yeah.
When Queen would do some stuff, like Adam Lambert would sing. Did you know that or?
No.
Yeah. Doesn't that make you think? Yeah.
Yes.
But it's like
my
right,
brain
but then it's
is spinning.
I mean, can Adam really act?
Can he act?
I mean,
bet he
would he really look the part? I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, he can
would you
sing
really
it.
take him seriously? I don't know. I mean,
but he'd be really good.
He could obviously sing it. Yeah.
Oh, and we didn't say who would you think would be a good Thomas Jefferson other than you?
Oh,
sort of backtracking.
Who would be a good Thomas Jefferson? Oh, someone like
Tom Hiddleston. Just kidding. He can't play everything.
Oh no, he'd be good. He'd be good.
I wish you guys could have just seen my face.
Oh yeah. She really wants to be Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, I do. I want to be Mrs. Tom
right.
Hiddleston.
You're gonna have to do something about Miss Swift.
Oh, don't even bring up that topic.
T-Swift.
I need a drink after
Take a
that.
drink, refresh. What was I going to say? We were talking about
Tom.
Oh, like
Thomas.
someone like Michael Fassbender.
He
would be so good as Thomas
yep.
Jefferson. Like someone like him.
Mm-hmm. Someone like him.
Right. I think maybe that would be the pick.
That's the pick.
That's the one.
He'd be perfect.
I would pick someone like him to do it.
Yeah. He's great.
He's so good. So
and
underrated.
He just looks like he can fit in that time period.
He really can.
Like, you know how there's some actors you can't. They can be modern, but you can't put them in an outfit and put them back then. They just don't fit.
It just doesn't work.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's one of the few actors that can fit anywhere.
Yeah, he's very versatile.
He is. He would be perfect.
He would be good.
Chameleon. I'm getting weird now.
No, you're good. That was funny.
Okay, so mine was the Freddie Mercury. Okay, so are we on to your third
I
pick?
guess, yeah, okay. So, Albert, Thomas. I kind of have it between...
Yes. I'm very excited.
So...
Okay, I'm going to say Winston Churchill.
Ooh, yeah. That would be...
I think...
Wow.
Because he was such a... they talked about how he's such a character.
Yes.
And I use character as in like describing like his personality.
Right.
Like they just talked about how he was...
that would be such a good one.
Right. And I just think... And there's a lot on... Like they have, research-wise, like, it's very doable.
That's true.
And I think people would really enjoy it because, obviously he's really well known.
Yeah.
And, his famous, Never Surrender speech.
Yes.
He was so significant in World War II. And, the rebuilding of Europe. And things like that. So
that has Christopher Nolan written all over it.
Exactly. Right.
That's a perfect pick.
So I couldn't decide between, like, that one or, like, FDR or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Because, like... There hasn't really been one about him, and he's
Not
so
really.
significant in American history.
Really? We haven't seen...
Or like Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of... Other than Lincoln. Presidential biopics, like movies. Like, the Kennedys, they had, that miniseries.
The miniseries,
And there's been the John Adams. But,
Right.
Teddy Roosevelt...
I'm
Franklin.
a huge Roosevelt fan, so I would really love for that
I would
to
love
happen.
for him to do any of those.
Any of those.
But
that was kind of just like
just a general one. But the first one that popped into my head of who could play Winston Churchill is...
that was another thing I was going to think of.
I
don't
have one.
Is
Jim Broadbent, or Broadbent. Okay. He is... oh gosh, he's in a ton of stuff. He's in Moulin Rouge as...
Oh, he'd be perfect.
He
would be
perfect.
perfect.
He's in a movie I saw recently where he is like basically bald, and he's older now.
Is he really?
But he could just instantly be Winston Churchill.
He'd be perfect.
He'd be
really good.
Wonderful.
He'd be really good at that.
Yeah. Okay, so my third
give me your
pick
last one.
is just generally what I want a movie about this so bad.
Do you
because
really?
last year I was obsessed with learning about this moment in history. I want Christopher Nolan to make something about the Romanovs.
Oh,
the Romanov family.
Terrific.
Because I need something.
I love that.
Because now, we have Anastasia, the animated movie, which is one of my favorites.
Which is good.
But
you want,
and
you
he
want
could. It's
some
like
really
it's
digging.
dark and gritty.
Oh,
What
it's
happened?
Dark and gritty.
And
it
he
is
can
a
do it.
mysterious family
It is.
history.
Well, and we've learned so much now than we did, 10 years ago. We still thought that the two children were possibly alive, and now we know that
what a good
they
point.
died.
I forgot you know your stuff.
Right. I've read as much as
Really
I can.
fascinating
I am
stuff,
so
though.
fascinated just by that time
Talk about a
in
powerful family.
Russian history.
yeah, right.
But I think that Michael Fassbender would be a perfect Tsar Nicholas.
Oh, he would.
And see,
Talk
it's
about versatile.
and it's
he
would be perfect.
He'd be perfect.
So good, and it's interwoven too because Alexandria, she was the granddaughter or niece or something of Queen Victoria at the time.
Really?
Yeah, so they're the way, okay, this is really random. The way that they determined whether or not this one woman who was claiming to be Anastasia, the way they proved that she wasn't was that they did a blood test with Charles and the royal family. Because they're related by blood.
Well, yeah.
And they didn't match, so they were like, you're a fake. And she really was a fake.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, you've heard that, like, back in the day, like
it was all
they're all related
cousins
somehow. Yeah, like they're
which
all
is
like literally
crazy.
all like royalty from all different parts of Europe and from the world are
all interwoven.
All related somehow.
I think it would be so good.
Oh, it'd be so good.
I would want him to make like a mini series, like on HBO, kind of like with John Adams.
Oh, that would be terrific.
But if he did it, it would be so good.
And just the story he'd pick.
Yeah.
Because he's also a very good storyteller.
Yes.
It would he'd do it from a fascinating perspective.
And the way he could do Rasputin, who is like a terrifying dude.
Right.
Like every picture I see of him like gives me nightmares.
Exactly.
And just that guy and that he would just do so good.
Exactly. He'd do it. He'd do it the Christopher Nolan way.
And I wouldn't want any other director to do it because he would do it the best.
That's such a good point.
I'll write him a letter and tell him to get started.
Like you said, it's gritty, it's nitty and gritty, and like you said, he has like a little bit of a dark quality to his stuff. So it'd be good. What a good one. That might be the best one. Yeah,
I think
that's
so.
a good one.
I'm just sorry. I think
don't
that's my
be.
favorite.
I think that's the best one.
I thought of that while we were discussing.
Really? You wrote that down while we were talking?
Yep.
That's an awesome one.
Because that's just always been on my list.
Good one. I could only think of like historical figures.
Well, those are the best to. I mean,
right?
Sports figures sometimes are pretty good.
I thought about
artists.
some sports guys, yeah.
But I like to see history.
I was because I went through like entertainment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't see him doing anything. I see him doing a more historical figure,
right?
Than like someone in entertainment business that had
Oh,
so
man.
yeah,
that was so.
You
good.
had Albert. And
yes, Albert, Einstein, Freddie Mercury, and the Romanovs.
Good one.
And you had Thomas Jefferson.
I also had Albert, and I had Thomas Jefferson and Winston Churchill, or the Roosevelts.
Yes, just the Roosevelts would be great. Yeah, it could be about both of them.
It could be about both of them,
That'd
and
be good.
Eleanor.
Yeah. Oh, Eleanor.
She's an extremely historical figure.
Who could play Eleanor? Ooh.
Oh my, Meryl.
Meryl can play anything.
Right? Let's be honest.
Oh, I almost don't want it to be Meryl.
Right?
Like, I want it to be...
Of course they'd give it to her, though. They'd ask Meryl first.
Yeah, of
Eleanor
course.
Roosevelt? Are you kidding me?
She'd be like,
totally
I'm actually working on a Jesus biopic, so...
to play Jesus. I actually have something better going on.
That's the one thing I thought of that would be better than an Eleanor Roosevelt is Jesus.
What you got going on that's better than Eleanor Roosevelt?
I'll say Jesus. Oh, okay.
Well, never mind that.
That's all right.
All right. You continue to be Jesus.
Wow.
Sorry. Wow.
That's
funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay.
Meryl.
Okay, so... Last discussion. So I wrote down a couple that it doesn't have to be Christopher, but I just want to see a biopic.
Oh, I only have one.
You just have one?
I just have one, yeah.
We don't have to talk about all of them, but they're just ones I would want. And the Romanovs, obviously.
Right.
Okay, and Walt Disney.
Oh, I thought about Walt.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought about Walt.
Yeah.
I definitely thought about Walt.
I want Tom Hanks to play him.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, he'd just be perfect.
I don't know why they haven't made one about Walt yet.
Yeah.
I think it's still sort of a touchy subject with Disney.
Wow.
And I feel like only Disney can make the Disney movie.
Oh, they would be the ones to do it. Yeah. Most definitely.
I really want one.
Maybe someone will get gutsy and do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But
I want them
Disney might have his life rights. Like someone might not be able to do it.
That's true.
You
know he could come back to life.
Right?
You know, the thing he might still be frozen.
I guess he's still frozen.
He'll come back and play himself.
Right.
Tom Hanks will be filming it, and Disney will be like, Tom, let me take over from here.
Down. Yeah, right.
And then everyone's like, actually, no, Tom, you're a better Walt Disney. Keep going. Tom, please.
Please.
Oh, Meryl,
we
Jesus,
need you back.
come in. We need
Meryl.
you to make a guest appearance.
Meryl, we need you to be Mickey Mouse.
She would be so good. Oh gosh, I got this.
There you go.
She's like, no.
She'd be perfect.
She could be every character in every movie.
It's Meryl Streep. Gosh.
Wow, we've got something going here.
A little slap happy here.
Sorry. Okay.
Right, so
what's your?
I think I've got a good one because I've wanted it to be done for a while now.
Okay, bring it on. Lay it on me.
Judy Garland.
Oh, that's on my list.
Is it really? No way. Oh, yeah, that's on my list.
Yep, we agree.
Come on.
But I do
And-
not agree that Anne should play her.
Who would be her? Who else would do it?
Meryl.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
kidding.
of course it'd be Meryl.
I honestly don't know who could play Judy.
It's just because she was so incredibly unique, it would be just so hard to imitate.
It would have to be like an unknown person, or else I just wouldn't.
Right.
I wouldn't want
Or
it.
they're most definitely gonna have to dub the singing.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I can maybe see Anne, because Anne is such
She
a
could
talented
act it.
singer.
Yeah.
I could see her maybe trying to do it and maybe getting close.
Yeah, but not like a full out.
Right. Because Anne is that good. Like, Anne has the...
She is very good.
Anne is very good. I mean, so I could see her
But
maybe
she's too
trying it. She's too what?
She's too tall.
She's way too tall. Anne is way too tall. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of magic they can do nowadays.
Oh, that's true. They
With
did make
camera
Chris
angling.
Evans look like a little toothpick.
That's true.
So they could shrink Anne.
They could make Anne look small.
That's true.
Like a tiny woman.
They just need to make one about Judy.
They really do. Like, that one needs to be done.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's... Her life was so... Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my
I mean,
goodness.
My gosh.
Everything
Should
she-
we really go down that road? I mean...
We
substance
could talk
abuse,
about it for hours.
depression. Yeah, I mean... So she really had...
Man. A lot.
She married, like, five
Like
times?
5 times, yeah.
Like,
And they need to make it while Liza is... I mean, Liza's not going anywhere
oh,
soon,
right,
but
right, yeah.
I want her to be able to give her input.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely, because Liza
Yeah.
would probably be in it.
Yeah?
The character of Liza.
What if Liza played Judy?
Oh, right.
Maybe like 20 years ago.
Right.
No offense,
Because
Liza.
Liza could at times sound like Judy
Oh, yeah.
when singing.
If of any singer, she sounds the most like Judy because they're kind of related.
Kind of.
I think.
Right.
Yeah.
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 That's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think she sounds a lot like Judy.
Oh, definitely. Oh, most definitely.
Maybe they just wouldn't
that
even
tone.
touch her singing and just do dramatic showing her life and not her performing.
Maybe. Because, I mean, her
'Cause
story is that powerful that they could do that.
Yeah.
But you would have to include the singing.
It could just be someone standing there, moving their mouth and playing some Judy on a record.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It would be tough.
They just
But
need to make it
I'd
still.
like to see it done.
Me too.
Or like you said, it'd have to be some unknown person that we've
Yeah.
never heard of.
Yep.
Unknown talent.
Yeah.
All right, that's mine, Judy.
Okay, and my last one was George Washington.
George.
I want one about George.
Good one.
Because like I said, he was one of my favorite parts in the John Adams miniseries.
Right.
And really, we haven't seen
Nope.
anything about him either. Just like with Thomas Jefferson, he's always been a side character.
He's always been a side character, and he was also, I mean, for God's sakes, he was the first president of the
Right,
United States,
and
he was a huge war hero in the War of Independence,
and,
the American
and
Revolution.
just a good man.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So
And
I
he's
agree.
the father of our nation.
Exactly.
It
I
needs to
agree.
be made.
It needs to be made.
Now, who could play George Washington?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender, basically.
He could do
I
anything.
mean, he could be all of them.
But I think they should do like a young version and then an older version, because I would want the older version to be the same guy that was in John Adams, who's older.
Ooh.
He could play like
Good idea.
President George Washington.
Good idea. Yeah.
But a younger George, I can't even picture a young George Washington, because we've never really seen what a young George was.
No,
what did he even do when he was young?
I mean, I only see him in that white wig.
Yeah.
You know, with the
That's why
curls.
we need a biopic.
Right.
Pick, because we just need it.
Exactly.
To know our founding father. Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So I have something random to bring up. I have it highlighted.
What?
This is really random, but I would love them to make a biopic about Paul Newman and have Josh Lucas play him. Do you know who I'm talking about? Josh Lucas.
Oh my gosh, Josh Lucas could so do it.
He looks just like him.
Wow, he does.
Like they look like father and son.
Josh Lucas was in Sweet Home Alabama.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now
And
I
he was
haven't.
in American Psycho.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
I really like him, but he hasn't done
very
a
good.
lot recently.
He hasn't.
But I always just thought that he looks so much like Paul, and I think that he could
really
definitely act.
does.
And
Oh, he could totally be Paul in a Paul Newman biopic.
maybe not like a Paul Newman biopic, maybe like where he's a side character.
Yeah,
But I just think I've always thought he looks so much like him.
definitely. Okay, I do have one more that I meant to write down.
Okay.
But I didn't do it.
I also think that there should be a biopic about Elvis.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was thinking that as
you?
we were talking.
There
Yeah,
probably needs to be. Well,
we need a good one.
Gosh, I mean, if you open up that door, I mean, you can do Frank Sinatra. I mean,
yeah.
But Elvis, I mean, Elvis would be.
He's the king.
He's the king.
And they did do
He's the king.
a TV movie about him that I didn't watch.
Oh, really?
But it was like Jonathan Rhys Meyers played him when he was really young, Elvis. I've only seen bits and pieces. No, I want to say this is maybe like late 90s, early 2000s, because I remember watching a little bit on TV.
Gotcha. But I mean, his story was something else. So I mean,
and you know I love Elvis.
Right, I know you love Elvis. So and I mean,
I would swoon.
I think and I just think that like, I think it could be done. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it should be done.
It really should.
His story is so popular, and his life was so popular.
Now that they would have to have the music and have to have someone who can sing like Elvis.
Exactly. That one you'd have to go all out.
Ooh.
Ryan Gosling.
Oh yes! Oh my gosh, she could
Definitely.
so do that.
Because you've heard him sing, right?
Oh yeah.
And
Speaking
he can
of,
so do it.
have you seen the new movie La La Land?
No, I haven't.
Well, they just released a new trailer of Emma Stone mostly singing in it, but both of them, like, I'm so excited
I can't
because
wait.
they
I didn't
both
know
sing
Emma
in
Stone
it.
could sing.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
I had no
but
idea.
She apparently can, and
Apparently she
she
can.
sounded wonderful.
Did she really?
Yeah, but I'm definitely convinced that Ryan Gosling could play Elvis.
Oh, he could
Holy
totally
crap.
be Elvis. He'd
That'd
be
be
a
so
perfect
good.
Elvis. Wouldn't he?
Yes.
He'd be perfect as Elvis.
Dear Ryan Gosling,
If you are
please dye your hair black and shake that pelvis and
He could so
get to
do
sing
it.
it.
I think he'd have it.
He's got my ticket. Or he's got my money for a
The
ticket. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a perfect one.
Right?
Okay, well, we have talked for quite a while, but
Yes, we
this has
have.
been great. But, okay, we're going to wrap up by yoga. Okay.
What? I'm sorry?
We're going to wrap up by answering 2 fan questions that we
that's
got.
right.
We're
Yes.
2 fans.
So let's hear it
It's
from
so
the
exciting.
fans. Let's hear it from the fans.
And this is nothing about Biopic because I didn't tell everyone what we were talking about.
Okay.
But the first one comes from Sydney P. She asks, if you could be any movie superhero, who would you be?
Oh.
Yeah, quite.
Wow.
And I have the benefit because I have gotten to think about this for a little bit.
Okay.
And you just heard it, so you think a little bit.
I mean, I already know.
You do?
Yeah.
You'd be Batman.
I'd be Batman.
I'd be Superman.
Oh, you would.
I was gonna
I'd be
pick
Batman.
Wonder Woman because I'm a woman.
I was gonna
And
say,
and I love Wonder Woman, but I would just
We don't have
Superman.
to be gender specific here. No.
Yeah, I want to be Superman.
Oh well, Superman is the ultimate superhero.
He's the ultimate, like he can do everything.
Right. Hands down.
Let's
I'd pick
take
Batman.
it a step further. That's our DC pick. Let's do our Marvel pick,
okay.
and it has to be Marvel movie. I think I would be. Oh,
I've got to narrow down to 2. I think.
okay. Okay, you go ahead and say your 2, and I'll think about mine.
Well, it's basically the 2 main guys.
Yeah.
Captain America and Iron Man.
Yes.
I mean, I can't. It's hard to choose between the 2
Oh
of them.
man.
I am a sucker for a Captain America.
Yes, me too.
I am a sucker, but who doesn't love Iron Man? But
They're both so. Oh, hello.
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 Hello, Chris Evans. Yeah. No.
Hello. I think even though he's technically not a hero, he's like the anti-hero. I'd want to be Magneto.
Ooh.
I know,
good
like
one.
they're still Marvel, even though they are owned by Sony, or who are they owned by? I don't know.
They were,
Somebody.
But now they're owned by
There's-
Disney.
No, not X-Men.
They're not.
Because no, they're owned by Paramount. No,
It might be. It might be Sony.
it might be Sony.
I don't know.
Because Sony had the rights to Spider-Man,
Oh, that's
but
right.
they agreed to let Spider-Man be in the Marvel.
That's right. I forgot about that.
But I don't know. Just whenever we said Marvel, I thought of Magneto first, or Captain America.
Magneto is a great character.
He
Great
is,
character.
and he's very powerful too.
So powerful.
That's a good question.
Gray?
Oh, Jean. Okay, I'd be Jean Grey.
Great character.
Dang, that's okay. Overall, I would still pick Superman.
Yeah, I'd still pick Batman.
Yeah. Well then, Yeah. That was a great question, Sydney.
Thank you, Sydney P.
Okay, so the next one is from someone you might recognize, from Mama B. She says, big fan.
Excuse me?
No, she's a big fan of us. Not that you are a big fan.
Excuse me, I am no fan. I may be big, but I am on the show. I'm kidding.
Wow. Okay, she wants to know what our favorite movie genre is.
Ooh.
Isn't that a tough question?
Very tough.
I think
I'm a sucker for horror films.
you are, and
I
see,
am.
those are the one genre
That you
that
don't
I
watch.
cannot
I know
watch
you don't
because
watch those.
I'm a chicken.
Because you're scared.
I am.
I have phobia.
I do have a phobia
Yeah,
of
right.
Scary movies.
I have seen so many scary movies in my day. And
Wow.
good, bad, everything in between.
So you think that's your favorite to watch?
Maybe. Yeah. But who doesn't love like an action comedy?
Oh, yeah.
Like an action comedy? Oh my gosh, that's like my bread and butter right there.
Yeah, or just comedy. I
Right?
think that my favorite genre to watch might be like musical, like movie musical.
Oh wow.
Even though I love drama.
Oh
and
my gosh, I totally
comedy.
forgot. I have an honorable mention.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Oh, and you know
my
what?
top 10.
I think I have honorable mentions too.
No
I
way.
have two.
I have one. I
Okay.
have one honorable mention.
Okay, what
My
is
top
it?
10. You want to hear it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
The Sound of Music.
I
Huh?
cannot believe that I did add that to my
forgot,
list.
didn't you?
And I am The Sound of Music's biggest fan.
I know you are. You didn't even think about that, did you?
No, I did not.
That's a true story, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
With, some things were changed,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're all changed.
I mean, movies.
I'm so ashamed.
Don't
That's
be
one
ashamed.
Of my favorite
I
movies.
know. Well,
I
when you
love-
said musicals, I was like,
Oh, that's definitely one of
that
my
was
favorite
one of my
musicals.
honorable mentions. I even have it written down.
Dang.
Sound of Music.
Oh, I see it there. Yes, right there. The sound of music on your little note sheet there. My honorable mention was Straight Outta Compton.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Very good.
Was it good?
Yes.
Really?
Very, very good. I just,
that it,
I
or-
felt like I needed, yeah, that was the only one. The
Oh,
other
good
one was
one.
Amadeus, but you talked about
yeah,
that one.
That was on my list.
Yeah. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think musicals are my favorite genre, and yours is, wow, horror.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
Yeah.
musicals are
And-
so easy to watch.
Yes,
as well.
they are,
Like
and
the
they're just
watchability for those is so good.
Such a feel good.
And I've seen so many musicals. in
Me
my
too. And I really like film noir. Like you have to say it like that.
Definitely.
Film noir.
day. It's true.
Cuz like 40s film noir, like The Maltese Falcon.
Oh wow!
And like kind of like mystery.
Fascinating.
And like Alfred Hitchcock, like mystery thriller. I like those too.
I love it.
But I just can't do horror.
I know you
Horror.
can.
Oh, and I watched the Blair Witch Project. I was stranded on my bed until my parents got home.
Oh, I bet you were.
And-
Why did you watch that by yourself as a kid?
I didn't think it was that bad. No,
It's not
I
that
wasn't a
bad.
kid. This was like 4 years ago.
Oh my gosh! Are you serious?
And-
they're remaking that movie. Or they're coming out with another one.
Right. I'm not going to see it.
Yeah, it actually looks decent.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'll let you talk about the horror movies.
Well, the first one's not good, but it changed movies.
Yes, it did.
It changed
and
films.
it scared the poop out of
It
me.
changed
Oh,
films.
I mean, yeah, it scared
Of
me.
course it did. Gosh.
I just
It's
can't.
not even scary.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's well, okay. I was mostly scared because I was convinced that it was real.
Oh, really?
I didn't know.
Don't they tell you it's a true story?
Well, I
Or-
watched, what I do if it's a scary movie is I watch the special features because I'm like, okay, that's how they made that ghost. So
Oh,
how
are
cool.
you serious? You
So,
are such a scaredy cat.
I am, and I watched the special features, and it's not about making the movie. They made a fake featurette about the families of the people that died and went missing.
Oh.
And it was like
whoa.
newsreels and stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, this
So
is
you
a
thought
true
it was real.
biopic. And so
But
I
they
watched
made
it.
all that stuff.
Yeah. It was so scary.
Wow, I bet that was scary. There's some that are just disturbing. There's some disturbing scary movies out there.
I should have watched them when I was younger and I like watched them with friends, but now that I live alone, I just can't.
Right.
And I kind of live like
Well,
out in the
you should
country.
Just wait to watch it with me or something.
Yeah. Now, the one scary movie I enjoyed watching was Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, you did like Jeepers
Yes,
Creepers?
that one was a good time.
Yeah.
I had, because we watched it with a group.
Terrifying. Yeah.
Yes.
Was I there? Scary. I probably was.
I think you
I
would.
have both
You
of
made
those
me
movies.
watch it. Yeah.
I have both. I know. I own the first two.
I know.
They're remaking another.
They are?
Another one. Mm-hmm.
Shoot.
They're making a third one.
Wow.
The creature has come back to life.
And they're remaking It.
They
are. Which I haven't watched It, but
I saw. You know what though?
Sorry.
Don't be. You seen the original?
No.
Oh, you haven't. It's scary.
Yeah, I'm
Tim
not watching
Curry
it. Yeah.
It's terrifying. As what's his name? Pennywise.
Yeah. I know everything about it.
So scary. We should watch some of the scenes.
No, let's not.
It is. He is terrifying.
Do you want me to pee my pants?
No. I saw a new image of Pennywise the clown.
Me too. And it's just creepy.
It was creepy, but it's so different than the old one.
Yeah.
And I almost like the old one better. But it's just a photo.
Yeah,
it's just a
that's
photo.
True.
It's
I mean, that guy could be really
so
creepy.
different. You never know. Yeah.
Dang.
He just didn't look like he had all the colorful makeup. But maybe they're going to go from a different angle, with costuming. Like I said, Pennywise from Tim Curry's Pennywise.
Just a picture of him scares me, and I haven't even seen the movie.
So scary.
I don't like clowns.
Okay, see, clowns don't bother me.
Well, I was forced to watch Poltergeist when I was in high
school. The clown
and
in Poltergeist is terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah, that's maybe the scariest clown ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you've ever seen Dead Silence.
I'm sorry. I was forced to watch that movie, and I still have nightmares.
You were very scared. We were at the mayor's.
You all were horrible. You made me sit there and watch it, and now I have phobias.
Come on.
I have phobias.
We've gotten a little off track here.
Yes, we have. We should probably wrap it up. We've been talking for a while. And if you have sat through this whole podcast, thank you.
Thank you.
I thought we were pretty entertaining.
I thought we did good. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, and we recommend all these movies that we've talked about.
We do.
If you like horror, good for you. I don't.
I'm going to change that.
Yeah, okay.
There are some good ones.
Okay, I
Have you ever seen Psycho?
Yes, okay. Psycho is...
Classic.
Yes.
It's a good one.
Alfred Hitchcock, I put in a different category.
Have you ever seen The Exorcist?
It's good. No.
No?
No. How about you make me your top 10 must-watch horror movies, and I'll watch them.
Really?
But only if you watch them with me, because I'll be scared.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for listening to this, my third episode of Balisti Babbles. And Matthew, thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's been a pleasure.
I had so much fun talking to you.
I had a lot of fun.
You're definitely going to have to come back again, obviously.
I would love to come back if you'd have me.
Well, duh. This show is not as fun when it's just me talking to myself.
Oh, of course it is.
Because no. But thank you once again, everyone, for listening. I'll probably try to do one of these again soon. If you have any suggestions about top 10 lists that we should do, you can email me at ballistibabbles@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook. There's a Balisti Babbles Facebook page, or tweet me at Christi Balisti with the hashtag Balisti Babbles. You can find me all over the place. I really am everywhere. So yeah, if you have suggestions, if you have questions you want to send us, we'll give you a shout out on the show. And yeah, that's about it. So see you later, people.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Would you stop babbling already?